Так, всем привет. Ищу еще второстепенные квесты, которые я не прошел. Здесь у меня что-то было отмечено звездой.
My God, what happened to you?
Do you know if there's anyone around here who could use...
Aye, there could be something for you. Go see Herman, the executioner. As long as you got the stomach for dealing...
Ого, я у него уже выполнил один квест. Так, секунду, сейчас я со звуком посмотрю. Так, сделал чуть-чуть потише игру, не знаю, у меня было плохо вначале слышно, может сейчас получше будет. Блин, заросли вот эти. Я же ему подружку привел.
The folk in town are talking about you.
They shot on me. That's what.
What? Who did?
All of them.
Wait. Tell me again from the start.
All right, if you want. They caught Peter of Dauba, George Weiss, and a fellow named Harold that everyone calls Frost. They're scum who've been hunted for months. Now they've finally been caught and there's a big execution being prepared. Folk will come from miles around to watch.
Well, that's a good thing for you, isn't it?
It would be, if I was fucking doing it.
Isn't it the custom for you to do all the executions in Rattay?
It is. Not just the custom, but by bloody right. You're not being replaced, they said. This is just a loan of Gallows Hill.
Well, there must be some reason for it.
If you know of one, spit it out.
So who's doing the job?
They invited Executioner Heinz all the way from Kutna-Gorы. They say it's going to be a big show. Have I ever fucked up an execution? I always behead them in one blow. And when his lordship wants to drag out a hanging, I leave them kicking for minutes. If he wants it quick, they're stiff as soon as I drop. And they push me aside like that, after all these years of service.
Прикольно он может сделать.
What can we do about it?
Nothing. His lordship's decided, and that's that.
Nothing? You think they should be allowed to get away with this?
Well, no, but...
You have the right to executions in Rattay, don't you?
I most certainly do.
Then you're in the right. Don't tell me you can't think what to do about it.
The trouble is, They already paid the executioner, and he's come here along with his assistants.
We can't stop the executions, unless Hines drops dead on the spot.
Which we don't want.
Indeed not. The best thing would be if he fucked up the executions. The famous Kuttenberg executioner can't handle the job. The mob would laugh him out of town and beg me to take over. They'd never invite him here again.
Great, so how do we go about it?
The problem is, I don't know what the sentences will be. They'll only announce them just before the executions, and then it'll be too late to do anything.
Suppose I liberate the convicts.
Why the hell would you do that?
Well, it would be an embarrassment, and then...
Only for Ratai, you dolt. Not for the executioner.
Can't we just get him blind drunk?
That wouldn't work. He's no beginner. And even if we did get him drunk, they'd just postpone the executions till he's sobered up.
Would the bailiff know more?
Maybe. But most likely only Heinz will know the sentence. I've got an idea, though. Will you help me?
Of course.
Great. Thank you, Henry.
So where should I start?
Find out from the bailiff what their crimes are, and then have a look in the Black Chronicle at the Rat House.
It goes back before my time. You're bound to find records of some similar offenders in it. You need to find people who committed the same crimes, and came from the same sort of background, noble or lowborn. That way you can find out what the appropriate punishments are.
Then come back to me, and we'll work out what to do.
I'll get moving.
And Henry?
Hmm?
They want to do the executions on my gibbet at Gallows Hill. I can hold them up for a while, but probably no more than a week.
I'll bear that in mind.
Так. Гроши за старую веревку. Секунду, я запишу название. И не только название, вот это тоже я запишу. Секунду. Погнали. Прям это дворцовые перевороты, дворцовые интриги палачей. Игры престолов палачей, игры палачей. Надо сериал такой создать. Там будут палачи друг друга подставлять и мочить за право мочить других людей. Так, это что? Нет, надо мной находится типа какая-то хрень.
I'm glad to see you.
I hear there's going to be a big execution here.
There certainly is. It'll be a glorious event for our town. They'll be talking about it for years.
Who's for the chop?
The biggest outlaws and reprobates for miles around. Peter of Dauba, George Weiss, and Frost Herald.
What did they do?
Прям Геральда из Ривии почти.
What didn't they do, more like? They caused trouble all over the country.
Who's this Peter of Dauba?
A noble who lost his fortune. He's been holding up merchants for months.
That's all?
At first, but then his gang started getting bloodthirsty. They wiped out a whole squad that was hunting them. He won't walk away from this.
What can you tell me about Herald?
They call him Frost because he's always cool as ice, until he starts. I've seen plenty of killers and thugs in my day, but that one's got the devil in him.
Why?
They say the only thing that'll put a smile on his face is the sound of screaming and weeping. That beast kills for pleasure. When they caught him, he had a candle made from the arm of an infant. For luck, he said.
Christ. What about Weiss?
No one actually knows where he came from, but they say the murdering started with him. He never leaves witnesses. He'd rather wipe out a whole village than take a chance.
Thanks, Bailiff. That's all I need to know.
Master... Nothing of interest.
Так, секунду, я запишу на всякий случай их не эти. Так, а где эта книжка-то находится? Еще выше, что ли?
Jesus.
Блин.
What was that? What do you want? You've no business here. What was that?
Ты еще туда попасть, реально? Этот баг у меня со взломом, вот такая хрень. Версия 1.4.1. Это я все читал, значит. Блин, там кто-то спит. Так, вот здесь что-то должно находиться, правильно? Вот это что ли? Короче, ставьте на паузу, если вдруг вы хотите это все читать. Я не хочу, поэтому я проматываю. Секунду. Да-да-да, у меня мод на сохранение без шнапса. И я ни капельки не жалею об этом. Потому что я записываю видосы, столько багов, столько всего.
Yes.
So tell me what you found out, and I'll see what I can come up with.
Just bear in mind, I can help you work it out, but you'll only find exactly what you need in the Ratai Black Chronicle. Every executioner has his own way of doing things, and this bastard might have different methods in mind.
Peter of Dubы has many murders on his soul, but he's still a nobleman.
Блин, только не вот это.
I'll have to go and find.
Так, ладно, сейчас сделаем, сейчас, короче, так, вот это вот, хорошо, я сохранился и у палача, и когда я там в комнате буду, значит, сейчас я запишу, как кого повесят. Хотя что я туплю, я просто могу сейчас прохождение в интернете загуглить и все, потому что меня бесит эти запоминалки. Сейчас подождите, пожалуйста, минуту. Я загуглю вообще прохождение. На самом деле, что буду геморроиться, что ли? Я просто, это рутинная работа, переписывать там из этой книги все.
Did you find?
Yes.
So tell me what.
Just bear every...
Так, Пётр из Дубы. Ему отрубят голову.
His neck is going on the block.
That makes sense. His crimes are great, but he's still a nobleman, so he gets an honorable death.
Иржи Бел.
George Weiss is a bloodthirsty bastard who left a trail of corpses behind him.
Его
He
повесили.
hasn't earned an honorable death. He's for a long drop on a short rope.
A murderer deserves nothing better. That makes sense.
Геральд Мороз.
Frost Herald is the worst of them all, sent by Satan himself. The things he's done would make a demon blanch.
Сначала его будут пытать.
The executioner will take his time with that one. He'll be begging to die. If I read correctly, it'll start with ripping the flesh.
Aye, could be. He deserves nothing better.
So, have we got everything we need?
We've covered all the possibilities. There's nothing more we can think up.
So, what's the plan then?
With ripping of the flesh, the bastard has to suffer, but survive as long as possible.
So, if Herald drops dead right at the start...
The executioner will look like a fool.
But how can I make sure it happens?
I don't know. It depends on the skill of the executioner. An experienced one starts in places where there's no threat of heavy bleeding, the sides, the chest.
And the Kutna-Gorы executioner is definitely experienced.
No doubt. They use a kind of special tongs, and in between the ripping, the convict's wounds are treated so he can take more.
What if I get the one who's supposed to dress the wounds drunk?
Don't do that. It could be someone from Ratai, and even if it isn't, the blame wouldn't fall on the executioner.
Maybe the tongs could be spiked with something nasty.
And you'd know what to use?
I know a little, and I might be able to get something.
That would work. Good idea, Hal.
That'll do me.
An executioner's greatest boast is to behead with one blow. That's why an executioner's sword needs to be a splendid piece of craftsmanship, and sharp as a razor.
I follow you, but how can I get to the sword?
It won't be easy. The executioner's sword is one of his most valuable instruments.
Couldn't it just be switched for a different one?
He'd notice straight away. It's different than a regular sword, heavier with a blunt point. The balance is different too.
I could take yours and...
He'd recognize that too. An executioner knows his sword like the back of his hand. He'd notice as soon as he picked it up.
So I'll have to steal it, dull the blade and put it back before anyone notices?
Yes, that's probably the only way.
That'll be interesting. And how can I dull the sword? Should I hack at a stone wall?
I thought you were a blacksmith, son. It's enough to cock up the honing. That will make much less noise.
That'll do me. What about the hanging?
If the rope breaks when it's done, it's an unbelievable disgrace for the executioner. Folk see it as the will of God, and sometimes he even has to let the condemned man go.
Supposing I just cut it?
I doubt it would work. The executioner will check it before the hanging when he's preparing the gallows. He'd probably notice.
What about switching it?
That could work. I've got an old rope here I don't use anymore. It looks fine, but it's run. It'll be perfect.
Great, I'll use that. I could shoot the rope through from a distance with an arrow.
Don't be daft. No, you couldn't.
But I'm...
Where did you get such a stupid idea? From some wench? Even if you somehow hit it, that rope's much too strong.
Well...
And even if you did manage to shoot it through, do you really think nobody would notice?
Maybe it's not the best plan I've ever come up with.
I certainly hope not.
That'll do me. Thanks.
Запишу тебе. Ну а мне дали это для задания, эту веревку? Да, вот. Так, и где он? Ага. Подожди, а где все эти инструменты? Туда же, что ли, идти мне надо? Сейчас прохождение погублю. Ну, в принципе, там ничего не сказано, то есть действительно просто надо идти в эту область отмеченную, и там воровать. Я бы сам туда сразу так и пошел, потому что время сэкономить, потому что отметок нет на карте. Сорви казнь, который будет совершить палач, ну, да. Попробую сейчас, если не получится, то, конечно, до ночи подожду.
What do you want? You've no business here.
What's going on there?
Hey, who's there? Hey, who's there? If he tries to torture anyone with this, the lucky fellow will die quickly.
Нет, застукали. Ну понятно, короче, ночь надо ждать. Напишите в комментах, если у вас получилось днем, если вы вдруг проходили это все сделал. Или как-то иначе. Но убивать их я даже не рассматриваю вариант, потому что... В общем, я это даже не рассматриваю. Но напишите, если кто убил, и интересно, что это к чему-то привело или нет.
If he tries to torture anyone with this, the lucky fellow will die quickly.
Так, что еще? Пыточные я отравил же вроде. Затупи меч палача. Так. А вон у него меч-то с собой, или это другой меч будет? А, вот что-то саботировать. А, это я веревку подменил. А меч-то как? Что, его надо вырубать, что ли? А, вот меч палача.
Now to blunt it.
Блин.
And now to blunt it.
Так, самое... О, а слушайте, а меч-то неплохой, такой какие-то на нем даже... Жалко, нельзя его себе оставить. А может, и можно. Я уже забыл даже, как это делать-то. Вот черный дым надо пошел, чтобы черный дым. Сейчас еще чуть-чуть. И последний раз. Только его затупил. Ну-ка.
There we go. Now to get it back to the executioner.
О, 27 хп осталось. Ну и еще чуть-чуть. Он что, вообще уничтожится, если я совсем его до конца как бы доведу? Ну ладно, пусть 16, я думаю, этого достаточно, не надо даже доводить.
There. couldn't chop the head off a chicken with this.
What's that?
Секунду. Надо, кстати, проведать, Герман-то с этой все еще живет, которую я ему оставил, помог с ней. С девушкой. Мужа которого он убил, ну, казнил. Да, она с ним.
What the hell are you doing?
About the executions.
Is it done? Can I let them get on with the executions now?
Yes.
Now all we have to do is go and enjoy the show.
Слушайте, а я не поговорил с палачом, хотя можно было с ним поговорить. Напишите в комментах, кто с ним говорил и что было. Не буду перезагружаться. Но может быть там и ничего бы и не было, кстати. Чтобы все видно было нормально. Тут темна, темень. А завтра на 2 часа дня, ну давай.
How's it going?
Into your
hands, Lord, I commend my spirit. In the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, who redeemed me by his precious blood, have mercy on me and lead me to eternal glory. Amen.
Пишите в комментах, если бы вы хотели жить в средневековье. Обычным крестьянином.
Could do with a bite to eat.
Вот с ним диалог, да, там ничего нету с ним в диалоге. А если его воровать?
Hey!
Ничего нет. Он лишь как метет.
Did you see that? An utter disgrace.
It certainly was. The executioner couldn't hold his head high after that.
True. The whole crowd was looking forward to it, and right at the start he fucked up the beheading. And then he took the tongs and... and the fellow kicked the bucket right away. Jesus, how he gaped. and then furious as a rabid dog. Furious, he grabs the last one. and he wasn't even able to hang him. I'll be forever grateful to you, Hal. You saved my job, and you deserve a reward for it.
Thank you.
Прошу открыть достижение вонючек.
Hey, watch it.
Радости нутровки. Рецепт отрави. 400 грошей. Возможно, я чуть-чуть упустил, что у меня там. Короче, напишите в комментах, отличалось ли ваше прохождение от моего. Ставьте лайк. Пасхальные яйца, кстати, сгнили. Их надо есть. Обычные, кроме золота. Так, что он мне там дал? Это я уже, значит, читал. Вроде бы все. Вот. Все, если не подписаны, подписывайтесь. Спасибо за внимание.